We can't hide all your flaws, but we can make them strengths.
Hi there, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Watch by Ashley, where we take a look at some of the new releases on the big streaming platforms and video on demand and discuss whether or not they're worth the watch. Today we're going to be taking a look at Michael B. Jordan's directorial debut, Creed 3. Adonis Creed is retired at the top of the game, like he's well off, he doesn't need to fight anymore, he's managing fights and he has a promotion going on and things, are looking up for him, everything is great. But then he gets a visit from almost like a specter. Someone from his past revisits him. And this is a punch to the gut to Adonis because he's been really burying his past. He doesn't want to revisit it. He wants people to know him now as Creed. But Dame Anderson comes back into Adonis's life 20 years later after serving a prison sentence that was kind of triggered and started by Donnie. They were out one night and unfortunate events took place and Donnie ran away, but Dame ended up serving the sentence. And so now that he's back, he wants to have a piece of the pie. He feels like he served the time in prison. He's watched Adonis rise to the top, but Donnie wasn't as good of a boxer as Dame was growing up. He feels like he should have his chance. Adonis doesn't really want to do that because that's not how the boxing world works. But Dame ends up shaping fate into his favor and he manages to get a shot at the world title. And once he obtains it, he ends up goading Adonis into coming back into boxing. So we get a very interesting story here. So I was really excited for this film. I've enjoyed the Creed franchise. This film had a lot of buzz around it, especially because it was the first film in the Rocky franchise that didn't include Sylvester Stallone's beloved Rocky Balboa. And so a lot of people are very curious to see as to whether or not Michael B. Jordan could really carry the weight of this franchise. And not only did he step up to the role of Adonis Creed, but he also took on the mantle of director for this film. And personally, I think that's a really gutsy move to make your directorial debut an installment of such a big franchise. So with a budget of $75 million, Michael B. Jordan and his castmates managed to bring in $262 million, cementing the fact that Michael B. Jordan is a superstar and he can definitely get fans out to see him. So the real question is this film actually worth watching? And that really depends on what you're looking for. This film definitely does check all the boxes off when it comes to a sports film, but it does have some flaws in it. So let's get into it. Joining Michael B. Jordan in this film are some other phenomenally talented actors. So Tessa Thompson returns as Creed's wife, Bianca. Tessa Thompson is a very strong actress. If you watch my review for Westworld, I am a big fan of hers. I know she's capable of so much. Unfortunately, this film underutilized her in my opinion. Bianca has always been a staple in these films, especially with her hearing issues, and I really do love the fact that they bring light to that disability of not being able to hear, but I just didn't think that they utilized her well in this film. So it's not her fault, it is what it is. He also has Phylicia Rashad returning as Mrs. Creed, his mom, and we have Wood Harris returning as Little Duke, and you'd be familiar with Wood Harris from The Wire if you're a Wire fan. He played Barksdale. But the most exciting addition to the cast here, of course, is Jonathan Majors.
Rap last time that I checked, selling zones in the set, make $250,000.
For good reasons and bad reasons, he's had a lot of publicity in 2023, and I really do hope that his personal matters do get cleared up and everything works out well for him because he has a very promising future. Whenever Jonathan Majors is on screen, he's a scene sealer.
Look around, bro. I'm the champ. I'm coming for it all.
And what's that supposed to mean? Are you threatening me?
Personally, my first introduction to Jonathan Majors as an actor was in Lovecraft, and I was really impressed with his performance because he almost came out of nowhere, and then now you see him everywhere. So Marvel's pretty much planned a lot of their franchise around him as Kang the Conqueror, so I really do hope that things work out and we get to see more of him. He is one of the reasons why I was excited to see this film, just because he has so much range, and him playing like a villain here, I was very intrigued to see how that would turn out. Here, he has such great chemistry with Michael B. Jordan. I really felt the tension between them. I felt the rivalry. I felt just the pain of someone who feels betrayed. I thought it was a phenomenal performance by him. In terms of the production of the film, I would say that it is very interesting that Michael B. Jordan took on the role of director here, and that wasn't always the plan. Originally, Ryan Coogler was going to return, but because of the turmoil and mess that Black Panther was, and with the timeline, he actually couldn't fit Creed 3 into his schedule. So that's where the opportunity for Michael B. Jordan to direct came from. And the screenplay was written by Keaton Coogler. And To be honest with you, I think the screenplay or the script was the weakest part of this film because the story kind of touches on certain areas but then doesn't revisit them, and I don't know if that's something that they're hoping to build on with the next film, but it kind of made the film either feel over edited or underbaked in my opinion. And an example of that would be when Jonathan Majors' character meets Bianca, he starts kind of asking her questions about how she's feeling as a person, like since she can't really sing songs anymore because of her hearing, and it kind of pokes holes at the marriage of Adonis and Bianca, and we don't really revisit it again. I guess you could say it's to show that Bianca is a foil to Adonis and she's also struggling with her career and has the same kind of issues as he's having, but dealing with it in a different way. But to me, I think that's giving the movie too much credit. I think it's just something that they brought up and then just didn't come back to again, because there is another example of that in a way. So Adonis and Bianca have a daughter now. She also is hearing impaired, and so they do a lot of sign language with her, and it turns out that she's expressing herself in violent ways at school, and she's actually boxing with people, which has a school concern, but then again her dad is a boxer. And we kind of see that she wants to follow in his steps, but this whole idea of her not expressing herself properly and having problems, like it's kind of glossed over, not really fleshed out properly. So it's just something that they touched on but didn't really develop. Like maybe they're hoping to do a story of her becoming like Layla Ali, like maybe that's what they're kind of setting up, but again it just felt kind of weird in the way they did that. Some people say that the script or the story, the direction of the story in was a little dark. I don't really think that's the case. I think the story mainly is supposed to be a tale of regret and redemption, and also when a mom is trying to do her best but sometimes the decisions don't necessarily pan out the way she expects. So I liked those themes. I did feel them, like especially when you're young and you make stupid decisions and you don't realize they have consequences. That's kind of what Adonis is battling throughout the film. So I thought that was well executed in that sense. In terms of the direction, I was impressed with Michael B. Jordan. It didn't feel like painting by the numbers, especially with the final scene where they're having the showdown between the two boxers. I thought that it was a fresh take on a climactic final battle scene between two characters. I like that they had a lot of symbolism in the scene, and it wasn't just two fighters going back and forth. We actually got to see from their perspective their opponent and at a younger age, and how they've really had this burden on their shoulders, whether it be Dame going to prison or Donnie feeling guilty because he got away and he ran away, and that's always been on his shoulder for all these years. And I thought that he captured it very well. Michael B. Jordan said he was inspired by anime, so he had aspects of Naruto in the final scene, and you can see that. So kudos to him. I thought he did a really good job in that sense, and the direction was one of the strengths for the film. In terms of giving the film credit, I would say I was really impressed with their dedication to sign language and making that a part of their films, and I think that it was in a seamless way because there are families that deal with that, so I like that inclusion factor there. The music in the film was pretty good too.
Why would I ever trip on my spot when I earned it? Y'all lacking discernment.
I think that Michael B. Jordan proved that he doesn't need Stallone. It would be nice to see Stallone again, but I thought this was a very good standalone film because now it really is a Creed franchise and not just a Rocky franchise. It's performed well at the box office. There's definitely going to be additions to this franchise, probably spin-offs too. So in that sense, it's good. Like I said, the story was just a little lacking, but it is a sports film, so you can't expect that much from it. Personally, my score for the film is 7 out of 10. It is a solid watch. It is entertaining. The guys are in great shape. And those are my thoughts in regards to Creed 3. This film you can currently catch on video on demand, and I think it's finishing up its theatrical run. So if you're really interested, you can check it out there. If you've seen the film, please let me know in the comments below. Did you enjoy it? Do you think Jonathan Majors could do a standalone movie on his own in this universe? Let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear them. If you enjoyed the content here but haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so, as it definitely will help me growing the channel, and I really do appreciate that. But that's all I have for you today, so I'll see you next time. Take care.
Hey, my man. Can I help you?
Let me get the autograph.